Schedules are one of the 5 Big Bang classroom strategies that have a great potential to significantly reduce challenging behaviors. So we're going to talk a little bit about the 8 elements that are necessary when we're implementing schedules. It is important to implement this strategy to a high level of fidelity, meaning we want to implement it exactly the way it was designed. These are the 8 pieces we want to think about when we're implementing schedules to a high level of fidelity. First, our schedule needs to be posted. It needs to be visual. We need pictures, we need words on our schedule, and it needs to be posted where children can see it. That's the first thing. The second element of schedules is that the schedule needs to be balanced, meaning there should be a balance of active activities and less active. There should be a balance between teacher-directed, child-directed. There should be small group opportunities and large group opportunities. The third thing we need to do with our schedule is we need to use our schedule as a functional part of our daily routine. We need to teach the schedule directly. We should teach it very close to our arrival time when children are arriving into our classroom. We want to go over the schedule and say, here's what we're doing today. Here's a list of what we're doing. The other thing we need to make sure with our schedules, we need to make sure that our schedules answer 4 questions, and not 4 questions for us, but 4 questions for every child that comes into our classroom. In fact, everybody who comes into your classroom, child or adult, should be able to answer these 4 questions. The first question is, what am I supposed to be doing right now? The second question is, how do I know I'm making progress? The third question, how do I know I'm finished? And the final question is, what do I do next? This is very important when we move into the next element of the schedule. We need to show progress through the day. Somehow you have to use your schedule in a way that when you complete activities, you remove them. You can take them right off the wall. You can turn them upside down. I had a teacher do a super creative schedule. She actually had the schedule on a string, and she would flip them up when they were done and Velcro them upward. However you track progress is up to you. You must find a way so that children know how they're making progress through their day. That's the 4th component, the 4th element of a schedule. The 5th one, we need to refer to the schedule throughout the day. I recommend at least 3 times you want to refer to your schedule. So you start out saying, here's what we're doing today, maybe about 4 activities in. We are at a story circle. We can say, these are the activities we've done today. Here's what's left on our schedule. Again, showing that progress, referring back to the schedule throughout the day. We're up to 5 elements. Still not at fidelity. The last couple of things we want to do is use our schedule to teach change. So if it is thundering and lightning outside and we're not going outside for recess, we want to use that schedule to teach that change. Some people think that if you have a schedule, you're stuck in this routine and nothing can ever change, but that's actually the direct opposite of what a schedule provides for you. When you have a schedule, you have a structure by which you can actually teach change. When I teach change, I say, okay, let's look at our daily schedule today. Now, let's say Johnny in my class has a very hard time with transitions, and I know recess is his favorite part of the day. So I'm going to call Johnny up and say, Johnny, take off outside recess because we're not going outside today. It is thundering and lightning. Johnny takes that one off. And I say, Johnny, why did we take that off? And Johnny says, it is thundering and lightning outside. So then I say, instead of outside recess, we are going to play inside in the gymnasium today. I have another picture that says inside with a picture of the gymnasium. Johnny takes that picture and puts it up where the outside recess picture was. So he makes the change on the schedule. That helps him adjust to the fact that there is going to be a change today. About midway through the day, I'm going to refer to my schedule again. I'm going to pull Johnny back up and say, Johnny, help me out. Let's go over our schedule today. We have story circle. We have snack time, and then, oh, what's this here? There's a change on our schedule, and Johnny's going to say, we're playing in the gymnasium today. And I'll say, why, Johnny? And he says, because it's thundering and lightning outside. So we use the schedule to teach change. The next thing we can do, the seventh element of schedules, is to individualize. We may have children in our class that are still struggling with following the schedule. Once we have that classroom structure, we can individualize. This schedule, this classroom structure is critical when we're talking about inclusive environments. When we're talking about teaching all children, we need to accommodate the needs of all children. When we're individualizing schedules for children, we want to really be thinking about what is it that that child needs. There are some children that like pictures and do very well with the picture schedule. There are other children that are not going to pay attention to the visual picture. We might use an object schedule. I might use a schedule for a transition. If I use a schedule for a transition, when a child arrives into the classroom, I might have them actually take the picture of circle time and carry it over to circle time. With individualized schedules, we need to be very intentional. We have to know why we're setting up that individual schedule, what that child needs, so that when we set that schedule up, we're actually meeting what their needs are. So individualizing the schedule is the seventh element, and then the final element, our number 8, this one is very, very critical. This element is about using the schedule to make deposits. We talk about this ratio of 5-to-1 deposits, that we want to give this positive input for children as they work through their day and move through their day and engage in activities. One thing we can do is use the schedule to make those deposits. When children are following the schedule, we want to notice that. We want to call that out. We want to acknowledge that. So making those acknowledgments and giving that positive feedback helps fill children's piggy banks with positivity.